When I saw this particular article, it really grinds my gears. And the reason it grinds my gears because when you're in competition, you are taught to play to the zero. You're taught to compete at a high level, and you're taught to play until the clock says 0, 0, 0. And in that, we have a coach that got penalized for that. Sacred Heart Academy, a Catholic high school for girls in Hamden, Connecticut, suspended its high school basketball coach for winning 92-4. And in that, they justified the suspension by saying that running up the score did not mesh with his values. Now, full court pressure and man-to-man defense have been just that suffocating, just as unrelenting were the barrage of three-point shots and fast break chances. But the lopsided result, the high school basketball girls game in Connecticut this week might have made even Bobby Knight blank. The final score between the Sacred Heart Academy and Lehman Hall High School was 92-4. Now, the coach of Sacred Heart, a Roman Catholic high school for girls in Hamden, Connecticut, near New Haven, has been suspended for one game by the school's administration, which apologized for the manner in which the outcome of the game was achieved on Monday night. So, what are they supposed to do? Just sit up there and get lazy and not play to the zero, and then say that other team came back. Obviously, you're not coming back from 92-4, but say they, we're going to take our foot off the gas, and that other team comes back and wins. Then what? You're going to berate the coach for not letting them for them taking their foot off the gas and not playing to the whistle. I just don't understand that. So what are we teaching kids when we sit up there and, oh man, you're running up the score, man. You're not playing with sportsmanship. But what about that other team not being ready to play? What about that? What about that other team coming in not being ready to play? It's not that coach's fault that other team wasn't ready to play. It wasn't their fault it's not that coach's fault that other team was ill prepared. And it's not that coach's fault that that other team didn't have the talent. But we're going to penalize the coach for running up the score on an opponent that was not ready to play. That's not his fault. The suspension of Jason Kirk, the third-year coach of the Sharks, one of the top-ranked teams in the state, was confirmed on Thursday by Al Carbone, the commissioner of the Southern Connecticut Conference. Sacred Heart won the league's Division II championship last year. Now, Mr. Carbone goes on to say that it raises a red flag. It's not just the 88-point margin. How does it impact the student athletes? Well, one of two things. Either you get some new talent or the talent that you have need to step it up. And that's on the coach if he go out there and allow his team to get beat like that. That's not on Sacred Heart. That's not on Sacred Heart. That's not the job of Sacred Heart Academy to make sure that the other team, looks respectable in defeat. What's up, Pigmentos? Polo, salute to you, my homie. What are we teaching What are we teaching kids nowadays in the spirit of competition? Oh, we so worried about other people's feelings. We can't let them get beat like that. That don't look good. What are we teaching? What are we teaching kids nowadays if they don't learn to accept defeat, knowing that hey, if I want to be on the level of this guy, look, it might take me get my ass beat a little bit. That way, that's the only way to get better is to play competition that's better than you. That's the only way you get better. You don't learn nothing from beating someone that's your equal or beating someone that's below you. You only learn from someone that is better than you. Success is the destination. Well, no, success is a journey, not the destination. And in that journey to success, you have to encounter bumps in the road along the way. And if that includes you getting your ass beat 92-4, then so be it. But they made a big mistake, in my opinion, suspending the coach because, oh, well, what about the kids? Well, what about them? They got to learn defeat. You can't just always cover for them. They got to learn what it's like to fail. They got to learn what it's like to get their ass beat. They got to learn what it's like to be told no. And if you don't do that, then you give the kids a false sense of entitlement. It wasn't the first time that a scholastic sports program had drawn criticism for running up the score against an opponent and prompted the debate over the boundaries between athletic prowess and sportsmanship. Don't they shake hands after the game? So what are we talking about here? Now, Mr. Carbone said that Mr. Kirk, who has two daughters who play basketball for Sacred Heart, would miss the team's highly anticipated games against Hampton High School on Thursday night. The decision to suspend him was made by Sacred Heart, according to Mr. Carbone, who said that the league did not have a mercy rule in basketball. Administrators at Sacred Heart did not immediately respond to phone and email messages seeking comment on Thursday, but expressed remorse over the episode in a statement to Game Time Connecticut, a scholastic sports website that's part of Hearst Connecticut Media Group. Now, in the statement, Sister Sheila O'Neill, the school's president, said Sacred Heart Academy values lessons taught and cultivated through athletic participation, through ethical and responsible behavior, leadership and strength of character, and respect for one's opponents. Last night, girls' basketball game versus Lehman High School did not align with our values philosophy. See, it's mumbo jumbo word salad jargon like that. Now, I'm gonna repeat what this Sister Sheila O'Neill woman said. Sacred Heart Academy values the lessons taught and cultivated through athletic participation, including ethical and responsible behavior, leadership, strength of character, and respect for one's opponents. So, Sister Sheila O'Neill, I got a scenario for you, right? What if Sacred Heart went out there and lost that game against an inferior opponent? Would you be coming out there saying that? Would you be coming out saying that, oh, Sacred Heart Academy values the lessons taught and cultivated through athletic participation, including ethical and responsible behavior, leadership, and strength of character, and respect for one's opponent? Now, had they lost that game, would you be saying that? Or would you be rating the coach for losing a game he had no business losing? If anything, you should be praising that coach for going out there and taking care of business against an inferior opponent. It is not the job of Sacred Heart Academy to make sure that the other team is ready to play. That's not your job. It's the job of the other team to make sure they're ready to play. Now, there was a similar incident where in Inglewood, California, this was a high school football game. Inglewood High School won 106-0. Get this now, 106-0. No, it wasn't a high school, it was a college football game. El Camino College. 106-0. No, hold on, let me get my facts straight. That was a high school football game. 106-0. Inglewood High School 106-0, dropping a Morningside on Friday, back in November, sparked the internet-wide debate over sportsmanship after UCLA commit Justin Martin stayed in the game until the clock hit zeros, throwing 13 touchdown passes and completing a two-point conversion with a 104 lead. The CIF Southern Section released a statement condemning Inglewood's actions. Morningside coach Brian Collins called it a classless move. Some called for disciplining the Inglewood coaching staff. Look, but some in the Inglewood community see things differently, taking pride in the program that had risen from the ashes and in defiance of a courtesy that they felt wasn't afforded to them. Now, no one showed Inglewood High School that same respect when they were getting their asses beat, right? No one felt sorry for them. There were years where they were going 0-10 and all that shit. No one said anything about, oh man, we got to be cognizant of Inglewood High School. They won the game and they weren't even competitive. No one was saying that. But as soon as it became a powerhouse, as soon as they started beating people's asses, taking care of business, running up the score, now all of a sudden motherfuckers got a problem with that. Y'all get the fuck out of here. They're worrying about, oh man, we running up the score. We need to let up. And then the other team comes back and wins. Then what y'all gonna say? Oh man, we had them, man. We let up. We shouldn't have let up, man. We should get our foot on the gas. You gotta play until the clock says 0-0-0. It is not the job of the opponent to make sure that the other team looks good in losing or looks respectable in losing. That's not the job of the opponent. When you're the opponent, you got to go out there and play to your capability. That's the job. That's your job. When you go in there, you play to your capability. You don't worry about what's going on the other side. They got to worry about what's going on the other side. It's just similar to when someone calls my phone the next day and be like, "Hey, I just want to make sure you got home all right." Look, it's not your job to make sure I get home safe. It's my job to make sure I get home safe. Cool to Jester, what's good? So, what message are we sending to the children when we're telling them to play until the whistle? We play until the clock hits 0-0-0. You give it your all on every play. You don't take plays off. You don't take your foot off the gas. And yet, as soon as the team wins 92-4 and 106-0, then all of a sudden, motherfuckers got a problem with that. Now all of a sudden, oh man, we gotta be so we gotta play within the spirit of competition. And all this other mumbo jumbo that comes in that clouds the principle that we set forth. This just in. The game between Michigan State and Michigan has been postponed because the University of Michigan got issues with the Covidius Maximus. So that game will not be played today. I got a problem with people who believes that you should not run up the score. I got a huge problem with that. If you're a coach and got a problem with that, then you should not be coaching because you're sending the wrong message by telling your players to play to the whistle or play to the zero, and then we up by 50 and all that. No, we got to take our foot off the gas now. Hell no. If I'm up by 50, let's get that bitch to 70. It's not my fault the other team suck. See, everybody want to get mad at the people running up the score. They should be getting mad at the other team that didn't come in ready to play. That's what they should really be getting mad at. They talk about competition. We want to see competition. Well, why aren't you getting mad at that other school that got their asses beat 106-0 and 92-4? Oh man, they run up the score, man. That don't make no sense, man. They ain't gonna beat them like that. Look, if it ain't no mercy rule, right? If it ain't no mercy rule in play, then you play to that goddamn zero. And you keep your foot in the ass. I mean that. You keep your foot in the ass. Because like I said before, it's not your job to make sure that the other team looks good when they're getting their ass beat. Or it's not your job to make them respectable. Because in this world we live in, no one's going to feel sorry for you when you get older. And I think that's been lost on a lot of people. We so busy trying to insulate and isolate the kids and all that from criticism, from other stuff that could somewhat call ruining their psyche and all that. When the kid don't have discipline, when the kid don't have the ability to learn from defeat, when the kid don't have the ability to make adjustments because we just want to isolate them from any kind of negative things, then what you're doing is you're giving them a false sense of entitlement. They got to learn how to lose. Sometimes that loss might be a painful one, but they got to learn how to lose. They got to learn how to accept failure. That's the only way they can learn. That's the only way they can grow. And everybody sitting up here all big mad because this team ran up the score. I agree, Memphis 10. What's up, every real gamer? Salute, bro. I agree. They should not refuse to play. It's not that team's fault that that other team got their ass beat like that. And they want to sit up here and talk about values. But what values are you sending when you suspend the coach for winning the game where he won it? What values are you sending when you sitting up here saying that, oh man, we don't like how we beat y'all. We're gonna suspend the coach for that. What? So I just got a question for these people out here that was so outraged and so appalled and so upset and so distraught, right? So when there was a period of time, I'm pretty sure that high school wasn't very good. They were probably going 1-10, 2-11, whatever, right? Where were y'all at voicing your outrage about that? You probably wanted the coach fired. You probably saying the team sucks and all this other shit, right? Y'all probably sitting up there as armchair coaches and all that. Oh man, this team they really need a new philosophy and they need a new identity. And this team, the coach's rotation not very good. The team's not very good defensively. All this, all this stuff that you were saying that when during that period of time when that team was not very good, and now that the team is very good and they're whooping ass, now you want to suspend the coach, and now you got a problem, and now you want to sit here and talk about values and all that. Look in society, ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for you. That's the lesson that you're not transmitting when you suspend the coach for running up the score against an inferior opponent. Where if you had lost that game against the inferior opponent, you'd be berating the coach for losing the game. Now, Lyman High School, the public high school in Wallingford, Connecticut, did not respond to messages left for its girls basketball coach or its athletic director. As far as I'm concerned, you get your ass beat like that, you shouldn't be a coach no more, and the athletic director can follow your ass out the door. It is not the job of Sacred Heart Academy to make sure that Lyman High School was ready to play. That's not that coach's job. Just disgusting. Mm-mm-mm. Now, mind you, Lyman's no, that's in Florida. Hold on, I'm trying to pull up something real quick. Now, in this, let's talk about the game real quick, right? Let's talk about the game, right? So after 3 quarters, right? Sacred Heart led 80-0. 80-0. That team scored 4 points in the final quarter. After 3 quarters, it was 80-0. It was 56-0 at half. Okay? Now, get this. Sacred Heart Academy, they are 3-0. They're in the top 10, right? They defeated Stanford 83-48 and Shelton 80-37. So they beat those two teams by 43 and 35 points. Where was all this so-called y'all weren't feeling so bad then when you was winning by 35 and 43 points to start the young season? Y'all weren't complaining, y'all weren't so outraged about running up the score then. So why y'all got a problem with it now? That's the hypocrisy in all this shit. The first game, they won 83 to 48 against Stanford, right? That's 35 points. They turned around and beat Shelton, no pun intended, 80 to 37. That's 43 points. But all of a sudden now y'all so worried about the spirit of competition when you won 92 to 4. Meanwhile, the team that they played, Lyman Hall, who was on 5, they lost the games to Coaching Chong 43-31, Amity 55-37, Sheehan 72 to 38, and Middletown 65-36. Each one of those games, they had lost by double. They haven't just losing, they were getting their asses whooped. But somehow it's on Sacred Heart to make sure that Lyman High School look good in defeat when this team is getting their asses beat from pillar to post by everybody. So why aren't those coaches being suspended? Why aren't those coaches being berated in the spirit of competition? Y'all see the inconsistencies there? So what message are we sending these kids or whatever like that when they go out there and play? You telling them to go to play to the whistle, and yet when they winning by 50, 60, 70 points and whatever like that, then all of a sudden now you got we got people out there that got a problem with it. I just don't understand the confusion that and the that's going on in today's society because everybody seems like they got an opinion about something. Look, if I hadn't said this once, I said it 1,000 times. It is not the job of Sacred Heart Academy to make sure that Lyman High School is ready to play. It's on the coach at Lyman High School to make sure that he's ready to play, that the team is ready to play. And maybe Lyman High School really need to take a look at the coaching staff and maybe even the athletic director for allowing this to go on, for allowing your team to take the court and get their asses beat from pillar to post in every game. And I damn sure don't want to hear no professional basketball player talk shit about, oh man, they ran up the score on us and all that. They really didn't need to do that. I better not hear no goddamn professional basketball player talk that shit. You definitely gonna get the side eye look with me if I hear a professional basketball player talking shit about running up the score. And my final point is this. Why do we have so many organizations and so many people become so weak to public pressure? Why we have people so weak, be so weak when it comes to the court of public opinion? Instead of doubling down and tripling down on your personal beliefs. You know, how can I ease the pain? Right? That's what we're saying whenever, there's some kind of public outcry or some kind of public black backlash or some shit. How can I ease the pain in my heart? Right? That's what we're saying now. Instead of doubling down and be like, look, we play how we play. If you don't like it, that is tough. But I know one thing, my girl's gonna be ready to play. You just better make sure you're ready to play or you're gonna suffer the same fate. That's what I would have said. So my question is this. We had all this. This ain't the only incident. I'm pretty sure there's way more incidents in the country where teams have ran up the score on people, and yet somehow this gets all the attention. This draws the attention of the mainstream media. How? Exactly, Memphis 10. We seen this all. This happens all the time, but somehow this draws the most attention. This coach is getting unfairly ran through the coals because he had his team ready to play and the other team didn't. Yet they win 92-4 and he gets suspended. If you ask me, that coach who lost 92-4 should be suspended without pay. That's right. If you ask me, that coach who lost 92-4 should be suspended without pay. Not the team that won 92-4. And I agree with Memphis Ted said earlier in the stream that those players should boycott because of that. I'm like, look, we love our coach. If he ain't coaching, we ain't playing. That's how them girls should have did that. As soon as they came out there, suspended that coach, them girls should have came out in unison. The team captain and the assistant should have came out and be like this. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all, look, we telling y'all right now, we got an important game coming up. If our coach isn't on that sideline, we ain't playing. We'll forfeit the game. Y'all want to sit up here and talk about values, but ain't no damn value in sitting up here suspending players for running up the score. Fuck out of here. What kind of value is that? Anyway, you guys let me know what y'all think about this. That was rather disgusting and that was distasteful and that's a disrespect to the coach and all that, right? Because say they go out and win the state championship. They go out there and win the state championship. Hey, y'all go suspend him for winning the state championship? Or y'all gonna be out there celebrating and laughing like a whole bunch of chessy cats? You guys let me know what y'all think. Smash the like, hit the subscribe. This your boy. Scream at me.